It's been 8 months since the release of Darkmire to the game, and I have very fond memories of that time, completing the quest on the day of release, and then uploading 3 videos in 48 hours, which have garnered over 15,000 views in total on all 3 videos. And one of those videos was called Hunting a New Blood Shard item in Darkmire, where I killed Wirewatch Sentinels, and I got a very lucky Blood Shard drop in just 150 kills. In that video, I mentioned that there's another way of getting the Blood Shard, and that is through pickpocketing the wires found in Darkmire, and that's what we're going to do today. When I made my return video, I mentioned that I've been working on this video behind the scenes, and I asked you guys if I should do a loot from 5k or loot from 10k pickpockets of these wires, and I only had 2 responses on this subject. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but the first one was from Tafik, and he said that 5k is good enough for him. And then Joel said that I should do a loot from 10k or else he will unsubscribe. Now, because I care very much for Joel staying a subscriber to my channel, I decided to put in some extra work, and today I'm presenting you the loot from 10,000 wire pickpockets video. Now, first of all, I want to show you my setup. For the gear, I used the full rogues outfit, which doubles all the loot of pickpocketing. I also used dodgy necklaces, which are a necessity for pickpocketing as well, and then my untrimmed virgin cape. But there's a lot better capes that you can use. For example, if you have 99 thieving, bring the thieving cape. If you have 99 HP, bring the HP cape, and then any blessing here works as well. You can also bring any ring you want. I decided not to do it for whatever reason, but while you're pickpocketing, I do recommend you to use the prayer that doubles all passive healing. I forgot what it's called. So prayer bonus is actually useful here. And then for the inventory setup, I would bring 2 extra dodgy necklaces, a room pouch to teleport to my house after every trip, Dracon's medallion to teleport to Darkmire, a gem bag to store all the rubies that you pickpocket from these guys, and then a stack of coins because you do get a bunch of coins from them. And then the rest was jugs of wine because it's very cheap food. They cost 3 coins each and they heal 11. They reduce your attack, but you're not going to be killing these things anyways, so I recommend bringing this. You can bring brews, you can bring sharks, karambans, whatever you want, but jugs of wine are a decent alternative if you don't want to spend too much money on your supplies. And I also have 1 free space in my inventory. That is because you only need 1 inventory slot for the coin pouch. As long as you have a coin pouch in your inventory, you can infinitely pickpocket them until you have 28, then you have to open them and you can repeat the process. So for example, if you have a full inventory but you have the coin pouch in your inventory, all of the items are going to be dropped on the floor. Things like rubies, things like diamonds, at the end of the day, even the blood shard. Make sure to keep that in mind because it's going to be handy later. If you want to pickpocket these wires, you're going to have to complete the Sins of the Father quest, which has a bunch of requirements. All of them are on the screen right now, but you're also going to need level 82 thieving. The higher thieving you have, the better. I started with 89 and I ended with 95. And I also have the Elite Ardoin Diary completed, which further increases your chance of successfully pickpocketing any NPC in the game. Now the method is pretty simple. I would teleport to Darkmire and I would run to a house which is located southeast of the teleport. I would flash protect from melee because the wire sentinels can hit pretty hard. Once I'd make it into the house, I would close the door behind me and then I would just pickpocket this 1 wire found inside of the house. It can actually be stuck in 2 locations, but the problem is that you're going to have to right click on the wire and then pickpocket it because the first option is the talk to option, so it's not necessarily an AFK way of training your thieving, but it can make a lot of money. Now where do you make this money from? The wire's loot table is actually pretty diverse. Like I said earlier, you get a bunch of uncut rubies and diamonds, you get some coins, you get some blood and death runes, and then 2 pretty useless items. The blood pint currently has no use in the game and is worth very little GP, and then the mysteriously cooked meat heals for 5, and I would just eat it whenever I'd get it in my inventory to extend my trips, so you're not going to find those in the price check. Now the majority of the money comes from the blood shards. For those of you who don't know, the blood shard is an attachment to the Amulet of Fury, giving it a healing effect, and at its release it was actually considered a very bad item. That's why it held the price of about 4.7 mil, but it's actually been buffed since then and holds about 7.5 to 8.5 mil price over the past couple of months. Now, its drop rate is 1 in 5,000, but with the full rogue set, that makes it that you're going to get 2 blood shards instead of 1, so you're not only going to be making around 8 mil, but you're going to be making 16 mil which is a lot of money. This method is around 160k XP per hour and about 1.5 mil GP per hour on average if you do get a blood shard every 5,000 pickpockets. And per hour, you pickpocket anywhere from 450 to about 520 wires. That is with level 95 thieving though, so keep that in mind. So this video took me roughly around 25 hours to make. Thank you, Joel. I really appreciate your subscription. On the screen right now, there's a bunch of screenshots of the RuneLite loot tracker. But before you pause the video and look through all the loot and then just close the video, this is not all of the loot. Like I said earlier, you can still pickpocket wires even though you have a full inventory. As long as you have a coin pouch in your inventory, you can keep pickpocketing them. All of the loot is going to be dropped on the floor. And it's actually pretty funny what happened to me, because on the 5,674th pickpocket, I actually managed to get a blood shard drop, but my inventory was full, so the blood shards didn't show up on the RuneLite tracker because they were dropped on the floor. That is why these loot trackers are not accurate. The only reason why I'm showing you these is because I want to have some proof that I actually pickpocketed 10,000 of them. Like you can see, there's actually two numbers here. There's a total count and there's a wire count, and I'm not sure why these two numbers are different, but I went with the lower one, so this might be 10,400 pickpockets, but I'd rather do more than less and lie to you guys within the title. So I want to clear that up so there's no misunderstandings. Now without further ado, let me show you the loot from 10,000 wire pickpockets. Okay, so all of the loot is in my inventory. So we got a total of 8 blood shards, 127 blood pines, 950 uncut rubies, 154 diamonds, 2,334 death runes, 1,144 blood runes, and then almost 4.7 million GP, which if we chuck into the price checker, we can see that this totals out to 64 million GP being made from 10,000 wire pickpockets. This is about 3 mil an hour, which is obviously not the average. The average would be just 4 blood shards, making it about 1.5 mil per hour. But I got incredibly lucky because I got the last 4 blood shards almost back to back, 300 pickpockets away from ending the video. I get the blood shard drop, I do another pickpocket, which was something completely useless, and then I do another one and I get another blood shard. I could not believe my eyes, but it happened. So in that lucky moment, I made almost 30 million GP. But that's RNG, that's old school RuneScape. I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. If you did, I would greatly appreciate a like. I spent a lot of time making this. And I'm going to do some slower videos for now that I can upload every 2 days. I'd also like to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to go for 1,000 here. Check out some of my other stuff if you're interested. And without further ado, I hope you have a wonderful day.